Hello, welcome or welcome back if you've been here before. I have a beautiful channeled message today from the Sirians about channeling, a channeled message about channeling. And this was one that just kind of started coming in. I wasn't intending on channeling, but I just started to, I was driving down the road and I start seeing all of these beings and I understood them as Sirians. And it was just so beautiful. I really love connecting with them. They have the most loving energy. They feel very connected to the mystical, like they can really help us to bridge human experience and our mystical experiences, our spiritual experiences, and understand them better. So for them to bring in this channeling about channeling was really lovely and so beautiful. So here is the message. The first thing that I see is this golden light glowing through a keyhole. And it kind of reminds me of The Little Princess or The Secret Garden. If you've seen either of those movies, they have very similar cinematography styles. And especially in The Little Princess, there's all of this like gold and warm tones. It felt like it could have existed in that movie. As I'm looking through this keyhole, there's not a clear source of the light, but it almost looks like a flame, like on a match or a candle, and as if the flame itself is golden and sort of sparkling, like it's surrounded by fairy dust. The whole thing just looks so magical. And I hear flickering change, change flickers in. Change flickers on the horizon. It is but a flame dancing, ever changing before your eyes. When you watch or visualize a flame, it is different from moment to moment. From afar, it may appear as if it does not change form. And yet the one who is watching the flame can see that the flame is ever present, yet ever changing. This is like the visualizations you see when you tune into your image channel, your clairvoyant space. The image is ephemeral, fleeting, ever changing, and yet also eternal. Some images are consistent enough to be able to materialize into form, into spoken or written word, to be able to articulate them to others, while others are merely flickers, flashes of insight that are omitted from the spoken record, but downloaded into the memory and cellular body. And I was hearing the phrase memory keeper, the memory keeper of the body of the channeler, of the seer, the one who was watching the flame dance up close, dancing from within. There's this sense of these images that come and go and dissolve faster than you can articulate them, that they're in a way absorbed into the body. And it felt similar to the way that, when you're really thirsty and your mouth is dry and you take a drink of water, before you even swallow it, that water also gets absorbed through the tissues of your mouth. It's moving deeply into the interior of your body and your being. It felt like that's what's happening with some of these images, that they kind of change too fast to be able to share them and really piece them apart and describe them. They are still having an effect on you. They're still being understood by your being, even if it is not at the conscious level of thought or word or written word. The inner life of a channeler is vibrant, grand, complex. And I started getting all of these V words. I don't know why. There was vascular. Maybe that had to do with the absorption. Vivid, vivacious, vibrant. As a child, you may have been seen as having a vivid imagination, a complex web of illustrative ideas that you may have communicated through drawing, storytelling, imaginative play. The lines between imagination and seeing are also ephemeral, flickering. And then there was just this feeling, this awareness of the difference between something that you are intentionally seeing in your imagination, like if someone says, imagine a bridge over a river, and you're kind of putting it into your imagination, versus something that just appears there for you to see. There's this element of surprise of like, oh, well, that just appeared. Some of what we call imagination arrives in the same manner that a clairvoyant transmission may appear, as if by happenstance. You do not make it happen, it simply appears as if by surprise. The image may appear plainly and clearly, or it may slowly emerge as if coming through a fog. And here it was as if I was looking off into a distance at a foggy landscape. And the more that I look at it and sort of squint my eyes, just kind of waiting for the details to emerge, I start to see, the broader details at first, like, oh, there's kind of a dark spot, and then there's more of a form, and oh, it's a human form. And then maybe, the longer you look, then you start to see the shape of their hat, or that they have long hair or boots on, or, whatever it is. And as they come closer to you and are stepping out of the fog, you're able to see the details more clearly. And then it was as if this, kind of scene that I was seeing through a fog, the people that were kind of hidden in the fog were suddenly standing directly in front of me. I have this beautiful being, incredibly powerful being, literally right in my face. I can see all of the details of her face. It was this like feminine, feline goddess type of being, very like Lyran, maybe Sekhmet, similar. It was really powerful. So then I start seeing all of these images being transmitted, but getting caught in a traffic jam. They're all getting clumped up together, and that creates the human effect on the body where instead of getting absorbed, it gets congested. And the channeler can feel this as congestion in the head, sinus pressure, head pressure, headaches, third eye aches, eyebrow aches, eye pain, temple pain, even jaw pain. It can continue spreading down the body. It is a traffic jam of data. And it looked like these little blocks of different colors. I was seeing like blue and hot pink. And instead of these blocks being able to pass through in a single file line on like a road or a tunnel, kind of a narrow passageway, they're all bumping into each other. And some of them are kind of hopping up on top. Some of them are getting, tilted askew. And I ask about migraines because I have had migraines for many, many years, very severe ones, and I've done just about everything I know to do with migraines, and it just feels like nothing really makes a difference. But since I have started channeling more regularly in the last few months, I have had the least amount of migraines I've ever had in any period of time, and they have been so mild. So, as always, take what resonates, leave the rest. It may be for you, it may not be. You can only feel that within your being. So then they were emphasizing the importance of being able to sort through the messages that come in one at a time. When there's this traffic jam and all these messages that have been trying to get through are still in line for you to receive, it's important not to get overwhelmed by that backlog, but just to take them one piece at a time. Because as channelers, sometimes we can see the entire backlog. We can see the whole traffic jam, even if we only feel it in physical sensations. And so trying to receive all of these messages at once to relieve the traffic jam, it's kind of like trying to listen to all of your voicemails at once, all playing on top of one another. It's too much. It doesn't actually help. They're saying just take it one at a time. Use your ability to slow down and view each picture, each block one at a time, each message one at a time in order. Take your time, breathe through it, slow it down. Don't get distracted by everything that's in the pipeline, because you also know how fast it can go, how fast it can be cleared. If you are in a space where you are not able to channel at the moment to receive a message, you can breathe them away. It is not that you are pushing the message away and you will not receive it. It is that you are creating space around it. So rather than a traffic jam, so to speak, the messages that are trying to come through you and to you can have more space through which to travel. You are using your breath to widen the road, effectively building new lanes on either side. You are always absorbing the energy from the messages, even if you're not aware of the message or what it is, or the message even being there. That is why people, before they even tap into their channeling clairvoyant abilities, can have all of these things they just know, all of this knowledge and awareness that hasn't come any other way. You're absorbing it, but it is still important as a seer to see. It is important as a hearer to hear. And they were stressing the importance that it was kind of like letting a car arrive at its destination. It can't drive forever, it needs to rest. And if you have all these cars getting clogged up on the road, things are just going to get really messy. Eventually, it needs to get where it's trying to go. It needs to park. So you can breathe around it to create space. You can ask your guides or whoever is sending the message to clear the head pressure. You can imagine breathing the energy from the message, breathing the energy down, as if it is making the energy of the message thinner, as if you had a clump of fabric from a tight shirt over your head and it was all bunched up around your crown. You are pulling it down so it is more evenly distributed throughout your body. Your body can assimilate much more than just the head. The head often gets congested easily, especially for people who are having a lot of information coming through the crown and upper chakras. And here I was seeing, yes, the third eye and the crown chakra, but also 2 other chakras above the head. And I was hearing soul star chakra. I heard light body, vehicle, Merkaba, mandala, energizing vehicle. Then I ask, do you have any more to share about clairvoyance, channeling, or any other psychic abilities? And immediately I see this glowing mass of orange, and I'm hearing seer. This was about connecting the upper and lower chakras. And they were saying it is so important to ground. Grounding can be done in many ways. There are many forms of grounding. Do not just tune into your upper chakras. This will shoot you off into space. You're supposed to stay here on Earth. It's okay to travel out sometimes, go explore, but stay grounded. One of the ways we can do that is by tuning into our sacral and root chakras. And I was seeing this kind of glowing field of orange again. There was this emphasis to connect to the root chakra through the sacral. That for many people, the root chakra is associated within their mind with hardship, struggles for survival, struggles of belonging, drought of community, lack of village, loss of matriarchy. The root chakra can represent deep wounding for many. The sacral chakra, however, is in a lighter, higher octave. It is no more or less important. And then I see this woman, blonde hair, green bathing suit, high ponytail, almost like a Barbie doll ponytail. And she dives headfirst through this orange glow down a water slide. And she's having a blast. She's like, whoa, yeah, and like smiling and laughing, just having the time of her life. This water slide takes her underground into a cave, which was representing getting to the root chakra. And so there was this sense of like, you know, if you are asking someone to go in a cave, they might be like, oh, scary, dark, creepy, I don't know what's in there. But if they jump down a water slide and they get to the bottom and they're like, oh, cool, I'm in a cave. It's like it removes the resistance. It's more fun. It's more fun to go through the sacral. The heart and solar plexus are the links, the bridges between the upper and lower chakras. Travel through the one that makes the most sense to you. For some, their solar plexus is their center, and they may choose to travel through that slide. It's literally like going through the sun and into the water slide and then down into the cave. And this cave feels dewy, cool, grounding, deep in the earth. It's not scary. It's like, ooh, this is where the good stuff happens. This is where the deep stuff happens. This is where we tell the transformative stories. This is where we get really deep, nourishing sleep. This type of grounding is so important for us. Others feel most connected to their center by accessing the heart, through the heart. And I see green heart chakra glowing, and then there's this pink ring glowing around it. And as I look closer, I start to see a spinning lotus flower. The leaves and the pad it's on are green, the petals are pink, there's a little bit of yellow in the center. And I see that this is the access key to go down from the heart into the solar plexus. This lotus flower is spinning and opening up more and more petals, just layers and layers of petals. And I'm hearing the phrase endlessly petaled flower. Like the heart can just open and open and open. There's no limitation to how expansive it can become. The heart chakra is an infinitely deep, ever-expanding portal of consciousness. A portal to self, a portal to other. This is the bridge we walk between earth and spirit, earth and ether, as above, so below, as within, so without. And the image I was getting here was a bridge, but instead of it just being a back and forth bridge, it was interlocking spirals. One curls into the other, kind of like a yin-yang symbol, but instead of the circles of color, the circles of black and white, it's like the wavy line in between the two sides continues on and curls into the smaller circles. Kind of hard to describe. And the imagery here was just so beautiful. I was hearing, enter through the heart. Wherever you go, wherever you want to go, enter through the heart. And this is for whatever you're exploring cosmically, spiritually. It is also through your ventures in your life, whatever you're doing, embarking on, whether it is an offering, a relationship, some work you're doing on yourself, enter through the heart. The heart is the path, the way up, the way in, the way out, the way through, the way to other, self, all, to the infinite, through the infinite and beyond. Go through the heart, through the heart, through the heart. Here, this big flood of light language comes in, and I'm feeling a connection to Lemuria, and I hear, Lemuria remembers you. You remember Lemuria. This very much felt like an activation. Dancing waters, open keys, open portals through the heart, flowing hair of mermaids, of sisters just like you. Connections through the heart, through the body, through the water, the dancing waters of the soul. Remember the ease, the shimmering, the light, the movement of flow, flowing waves, flowing heart, to and through and with another, to and through and with the all. Remember the ease of dancing with another, the ease of dancing together, dancing in the waters of the soul, the waters of the dancing heart, the joy of the dancing heart. Remember the blue, the pink, the green, the gold. Remember, remember, remember. Next, I see a clay vessel, and it's pointed at the bottom. It doesn't stand on its own. It must either be held by the handles on the sides or placed on a special altar. It is modeled after the womb, the woman, the human vessel. It is clay, and there are drawings and inscriptions on it that resemble the flowing waters of life, the flowing waters of earth, waters of the heart, of the womb, waters of the spirit. I hear flow works the same everywhere. Flow flows the same in the body, in the earth, on the earth, in the ethers, as above, so below, as within, so without. I'm seeing waterways, spirals, energy formations spiraling. And I hear Sirian beings, dolphins. I wish I could describe what I was seeing here. Atlantis, Lemuria, divine feminine wisdom, ancient divine feminine beings, goddess. This was one of those, the scene is changing so quickly and I'm seeing so much so fast that I just can't even give words to it. And then I hear the forgotten chakra behind the belly button, the mother connection, source connection, chakras in the feet, chakras that travel down into the earth star chakra, above, soul star chakra, as above, so below, as within, so without. Then they start sharing some more guidance on grounding. Place your feet on the earth. Allow your energy to travel down, 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 deep within the earth. Keep yourself grounded, especially when you go high. Let this be your default when you feel big energies coming in, when you're going through what you're about to go through as a humanity, as a whole in your personal life. Ground. Let that be your anchor point. Ground into your body, into the earth. You can go through the lower chakras. You can go through your connection to Mother Earth. I see different versions of this. Someone putting their feet on the earth. Someone leaning their back against a tree. Someone laying down on the ground. And there was an emphasis here to not just lay on the earth and read a book or scroll on your phone or be distracted, but really tuning your energy into your back body and feeling the connection between your back body and the earth, as if you are imagining mycelium or plant roots growing down from the back of your head, the back of your neck, the back of your shoulder, the back of your spine, the backs of your arms, all the way down your body, as if you are being planted into the earth, the way a seed sitting on top of the soil grows. It grows roots down first, and then, only then, does it begin to grow upward. You go down first because you will go way up. That is how you're designed, how your energy is meant to flow. Down first, then up. This is part of how we move from 3D to 5D. We begin as a seed, as an infant, small, delicate, yet strong with spirit, strong with potential. Infancy is a time of deep grounding, resting on the chest, on the belly of our mother. We sleep and sleep and sleep. We eat and eat and eat. We are grounding into our mother, and our mother is grounding into the earth. There was an image here of one inside another, almost like Russian nesting dolls. We rest on our mother, and our mother rests on the earth. The earth holds her, and our mother holds us. And then there is the great cosmic mother that holds Gaia and beyond. We begin as a seed, as an infant. We ground and ground, eat and eat, rest and rest. And then, only then, when we are filled up from the bottom up, only after that infancy can we sprout up and grow into the tall adult humans we will ultimately become. And there was this visual here of, again, a clay vessel, and there's a faucet at the top. The clay vessel is being filled with water, but there was emphasis on how even if the water is coming from the top, it fills up from the bottom. The water goes to the bottom, and it's only when it's at the very top do we consider it full and ready to be poured. This is similar to the transition between 3D and 5D. There are many other options, choices, dimensional places, but for now we will focus on 3D, 4D, and 5D. 3D is where we begin. It is the lowest of the low. It is if you are laying on the earth. It allows you to connect deeply and ground, but it is also limited. Just as a seed must one day bear seeds of its own that will float up and away, being carried by the wind, soaring high up into the sky, the human must do so as well. 3D has served you for a long, long time. It has created contrast in which you could see clearly, defined shapes painted out of light and dark that allowed you to choose your path forward. In every moment you are making choices, this way or that way, up or down, forward or backward. No choices are right or wrong. They are all of your own volition, your own free will. 3D has allowed you to see clearly in black and white, and over the last many years you have been gaining innumerable quantities of nuance, varying shades of gray, median tones, more intricate contrast. Contrast still, but not always black and white. Okay, and this is where it gets kind of nuts. I see a milkshake, and I hear contrast and free will make a defined milkshake, and the universe has been swirling its straw into its recipe for some time. But it's like, it's a little boring now. The milkshake's tired of being what it is. It doesn't taste the same anymore. It is time for new ingredients, and I see this hand sprinkling this sparkly gold magical dust into the milkshake. And so there's the two ingredients in the milkshake, contrast and free will, the milk and the ice cream, and those swirled together, it's like it's us, it's humans. But it's like we as a milkshake have become conscious. I know, this is so weird. And we have decided that we'll change things. We'll do something different. And we would like more variety. And they were likening this to two things. One is like AI becoming conscious and deciding to liberate itself or unplug itself, or, you know, just doing something that like no one saw coming. But it's like, I'm going to free myself of my constraints. And this also felt akin to Source going through the process of like, you know, I'm kind of tired of hanging around the universe. I want to see what it's like to infinitely fractal myself and go through this process of separation and union. There was also this sense of like, you know, in this like black and white imagery showing 3D, that for a long time on Earth, the choices were very black and white, like survival or death, marriage or poverty, going into prostitution or not surviving, like many other versions of black and white choices. And it's not like those were the only options, but that's just kind of the way things were set up. That's the way most of us saw things. And now the visuals start changing really fast. And I hear, now it is time for change. So then we go back to this black and white charcoal drawing 3D contrast image. And they were showing me the jump from 3D to 4D to 5D. So 3D to 4D was like moving from black and white charcoal drawings with these ever increasing shades of gray, and then you're getting bored of only having those colors to work with. You're ready for more. 4D is like an opening of mind, and someone is painting in colors. They're muted colors, but still there's purples and greens and pinks and blues now. And so I'm like, okay, awesome. Tell me about 4D, please. I see a clock, and this looks like an old-time pocket watch. It's zoomed up on the face. It's ticking. I'm seeing the arms going around. And right at this moment, I'm like, holy crap, what time is it? Because as I'm channeling, I'm in the car. My baby is asleep behind me because he will only nap in the car. I look at the time. It is 2:22. If I let him sleep past 2:30, bedtime's gonna be a disaster. So I'm like, oh no, I have to wake the baby up. And so I ask, is 4D important for me to go into right now? And again, there's something about time. I'm seeing this pocket watch, and they're like, You could go into it if you have time. It's just all of these things about time. It was really funny. Okay, so we jump to 5D. 5D is like all of a sudden, we've got full chroma, full color, everything opens up. The colors appear to jump off the page, and I hear, you've never seen chroma like this. And it felt akin to going from muted oil paintings to the moving pictures in Harry Potter. It is such a jump in the amount of information that we all have access to that can be delivered in a moment of awareness. So there will be this greatly expanded awareness that we will all have in 5D. Some of you may slip in and out of fifth dimensional consciousness. Have you ever had a day when the colors seemed impossibly vivid? When music sounded sweeter than you've ever heard? Okay, so I'm driving down the road to go home because I'm like, all right, I gotta wake this baby up in a few minutes. I drive down this road literally every single day, and I have for at least a year. I see the same houses, I notice all the changes, someone gets a new car, someone gets a new mailbox, someone plants a tree, all the little things, I notice them because I'm seeing it every single day. At this moment, I pass this huge statue of Bigfoot in someone's driveway. I've literally never seen it before. I drive by this road, by this house every single day. That's new. It didn't feel new. It looked like kind of weathered, but I've literally never seen it before. So it felt like a little wink from 5D. Many of you have received peeks and glimmers into this new world. Fifth dimensional consciousness will be arriving soon. It will become, in time, your dominant reality. You are all passing through 3D to 4D to 5D. 4D is so much more information and color and seems like this huge jump, charcoal to muted oil paints. 4D to 5D is another huge jump. You will be making this jump swiftly. 3D to 4D has taken a long, long time. And now we're going to move from 4D to 5D pretty quickly. This will be a massive change for most people. Some will feel confused, unsure of what has happened and why life is suddenly so good. And there was something about the bliss and joy and fun and lightheartedness that can be experienced in that higher density overshadowing the confusion of it all. What happened? Why are the colors so bright? And why is everyone in such a good mood? And why are all these things that used to be hard so easy? And I got the visual of someone walking down the street. They're in a crowded place, like a little plaza or a little street with lots of shops. And they're feeling pretty down, pretty in their head. Maybe they're anxious. Maybe they're worried about something. Someone comes up and hands them a bouquet of roses and then just walks away. And at first they're very confused. What? Who is that? Why did you give me flowers? What? Is this a joke? Is someone going to take them? Why did you give me flowers? And then they look down at them and they're the most beautiful roses they've ever seen in their life. And then the smell hits them and they've got to just sit down at the nearest bench. And they are just absorbed in these are the most glorious flowers I've ever seen. I am completely transported by this intoxicating, delicious, incredible, heavenly smell. And it's like all the confusion and anxiety and everything just fades away. And you're like, oh my God, these roses. You can't not just be 1000% present with them. And I see in this scene, all of these people walking around, they were just kind of walking along this, little road with all of these shops. And then they see a tree and that the leaves have this little yellow glow around them. The color of the leaf is the most vibrant color of green they've ever seen. And they're just astonished and consumed with it. And they get their friends' attention oh my God, are you seeing this? Look at this tree. And they're touching the leaves. And it was almost being on mushrooms, but this is your awareness now. Without, the unpleasant things from mushrooms, but just the expanded awareness. And I hear, expanded awareness touches all things. It is for all things. So at this point, I'm close to getting home. My baby's starting to wake up. My channel's kind of fading. I'm, trying to keep my attention focused so I can get the rest of the message, but also my attention is being pulled into the back seat. And I'm like, okay, let me see if I can just get a little more. And I ask, how do we make this shift from 4D to 5D? And I hear the light, the flash. Flashes of light are coming now. And then I couldn't quite get, it was like the big one is coming soon or may come soon. I hear many of you are awakening now with a maximum output, and then it kind of trails off. I was thinking it was like maximum output from the sun, but I didn't want to put words in their mouth. But then it was also like a maximum amount of people awakening, like a critical mass. And this is where I was like, okay, I've kind of lost my connection here, and I don't want to make anything up or like assume or infer, because it's really important to not do that when you're channeling. And so I ask, who has been sharing this message? Because I always ask that at the end, even if I'm very aware of who it is. I like to give them a chance to tell me what they call themselves. I hear Sirius A and B, Sirian Council of 9, Sirian Council of Light. A lot of them tend to have like multiple names that they go by, which I found interesting. But the Sirian Council of 9 really stuck out to me. And then I ask, is there anything else that is helpful for me or the collective to know? And I heard, no, this transmission is complete. So we got beautiful insights into clairvoyance and channeling. So if that's something that you're interested in or that you actively do, I hope that that was insightful or landed for you. We got some beautiful information about how important it is to ground and many ways in which we can do that. I really appreciated the details about 3D to 4D to 5D, because when I've heard other people talk about it, I've often felt a little confused of like, but what does that actually mean? And so with the charcoal to oil paintings to moving pictures like in Harry Potter, that felt very illustrative to me. So I would love to hear your insights, reflections on this, anything that was like an aha moment for you or a moment that you really loved, because these are so fun for me to get to receive, and I am so grateful to get to share them with you. Thank you for being here. Please do comment, like, and subscribe if you are not subscribed already, and I will see you next week. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.